Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome to Fontana Lake in North Carolina. Beautiful view today out here in the Smoky Mountains. Today I'm going to show you guys how to Chaturanga. So what I want you to focus on is working at your level. As always, yoga is a practice. So if you feel like you haven't quite perfected the Chaturanga yet, maybe this can help. And feel free to watch this video as many times as you want to in order to just practice and get better at it. It's always something that we can work on. So what I'm going to walk you through first is I'm going to show you the full Chaturanga and then we'll kind of break it down piece by piece. So Chaturanga is actually just one posture. It's the posture where we're in that low plank position with the elbows tucked into our sides. And the Chaturanga flow, like we call it a lot of times in class, is actually a vinyasa, where we go down into our Chaturanga, up into upward facing dog or baby cobra, and then pressing the hips high up into downward facing dog and coming back to our standing tall position, kind of working through like that sun salutation. So again, kind of breaking down and helping you work into your Chaturanga. So a full Chaturanga, we're in a high plank position. Now in our high plank position, we've got our hands right below our shoulders and chest, okay? So nice and tall. We're also pressing our heels back down behind us and our core is tight, trying to never let our hips sink or have them too high, okay? Now from here, full Chaturanga, we shift forward as we lower down. Notice my elbows and wrists are stacked and I'm not going any lower than halfway down. Then we come up to the tops of our feet. Keep the core tight to protect your back, coming up into upward facing dog. I'm tall through my chest, my neck, trying not to let my thighs touch the mat. Now from here, then we tuck our toes and send the hips high into downward facing dog, okay? Now again, that's kind of the full flow, but we really want to focus on that Chaturanga. So what I'm going to do is walk you through kind of helping you find your Chaturanga as of right now. Again, it's a practice and you will get better at this. So here's the first option to kind of modify through your Chaturanga. We can go into your high plank position and lower one knee down at a time. Now from here, a common mistake is that people will leave their toes tucked under. I want you to soften your feet onto the mat so they're lying down long. Then you're gonna just gently keep your core tight, flatten out your body so you kind of shift forward as you lower all the way down to your mat. Elbows are pressed in nice and tight. Now, press through the tops of your feet and your hands. Inhale to lift, baby cobra. Now in baby cobra, you don't want your shoulders up by your ears. You want to press the neck long and press your elbows back behind you so you actually activate the muscles in your back and keep those knees lifted off the mat. On an exhale, then we release down to the mat. Press through your knees and your hands. Keep the elbows tight. Come up to half or kind of modified plank. Then we tuck our toes under and go into downward facing dog. Okay, now that's option number one. Now go ahead and repeat that kind of clip if you want to just practice there. But if you'd like to take that one step further, we can do just one knee. And I'll show you that. So what that looks like is we go from our our full plank position, we shift forward on our toes, and when we get to that full forward position, we lower one knee down to the ground, flatten out the tops of your feet, okay? Shift forward to halfway down or all the way down. I'll show you all the way down first. Then we come to the tops of the feet, lift the knees, inhale, baby cobra, exhale, release, okay? We can press through both knees to get to modified plank and into downward facing dog, okay? Or I'll show you the other option where we only go halfway down. So from high plank, we shift forward, lower one knee and the tops of your feet as you lower halfway down. Then come to the tops of both feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, soften the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Now, full Chaturanga. Again, the most important thing on all of this is safety. So we want safety through our shoulders and safety through our wrist, because as you know, yoga can kind of take a toll on your wrist if you're not holding strong through your palms. So if we walk through our full vinyasa and our full flow here with that Chaturanga, we want to start in our high plank position. Again, we shift forward on the toes as we lower halfway down. Then come to the tops of the toes and the tops of the feet. Lift, keep the body strong. upward facing dog. Okay, now from here, tuck those toes, downward facing dog. So, full recap here. First modified variation, high plank, soften the knees and the tops of the feet. Pinch the elbows into your side. Inhale, upward facing dog, neck is long, core is tight. Exhale, release, press through the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Shift forward on your toes, soften one knee and the top of that foot. Release all the way down to the mat. Inhale, come to the tops of the feet and the hands, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Press through those hands and the knees, modified plank, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift forward on your toes. Soften one knee and the top of your foot. Lower halfway down. Keep those elbows in tight. Exhale, inhale, lift. Upward facing dog. So we're off of our knees, okay, legs are long. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward on your toes. All the way forward, press the elbows in towards your chest. All the way to the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, release. So again, Chaturanga, there's quite a few different variations, but it's all about just practicing and making sure that you're comfortable with your variation. For myself, when I'm teaching, I always teach the first modified version, the very first sun salutation, just to allow not only myself to warm up, but kind of practiced yoga practitioners, and especially beginners, to kind of get in that rhythm. But even when I'm doing my own practice, I always start with modified just to warm up my chest and my shoulders. Even though we've already warmed up, okay, when you're doing your warm up and starting our slow movements, it's always good to get your shoulders and your chest ready for a full chaturanga. So don't rush yourself into that. Take your time and pace yourself. Again, it's a practice. Just work at it.